Hello, beautiful souls. I am Shamice Daniel, and I would like to take a moment to go a little deeper into the concepts of quantum alchemy and the Trinity Alchemy process because they will truly be beneficial with our journey moving forward, not only this last quarter of the year, but into the years to come. Most of you have probably felt this year has been full of distractions, choice points, opportunities of expansion and growth. And we've not really experienced a true gap between all of the energetics, the highly refined energetics coming in this year. And that is for our expansion, our growth. It is to assist us with truly moving forward into our truth, a truth of who we are, our potential as creators, our experience, and to help us move out of the very rigid, fixed energy of the matrix. But as with all big boosts of refined energy, we will have that release. We'll probably be presented with many aha moments if we're relaxed and we're able to feel into the flow. And I found that this is probably the most difficult part of the process for most people this year. It's really easy to get pulled into these points of distraction because they are so big this year. We've never had such high points of distraction within all of our lifetimes. And when you have billions of people focused on the exact same distraction line, it creates an immense, heavy, dense, energetic because so many people are feeding that line. They're boosting it. And so with all of these dense lines, it is really important that we understand how we can stay out of that, and we understand alchemy and the process of alchemy, because that's a process that every single master has used to come out of situations and dynamics exactly like this. We've heard so many stories of so many masters going through the alchemy process. And so understanding how we too as individuals can utilize this highly beneficial process will help all of us be able to ride the wave, the really big, highly refined wave that's coming in around the solstice at the end of this year. You've probably heard many people refer to it as the event or things like that. I prefer to stay out of all of that. The point is, it's just a wave of highly refined energetics, and they will help us just go a little deeper into illuminating our individual truth, the truth of who we are, the truth of what we really truly desire to create. And most people have been getting really big nudges this year. They've been seeing what's out of alignment. They've been seeing what no longer resonates with them, what no longer works for them, what they don't want any longer. And that we peel that back so that we can see and discover what we truly want, what we're truly capable of creating based on who we are as a unique soul. And sometimes we can get caught up in that release process because that release process is the very first step in the alchemy process. It's where we truly go in and detox. So what we're doing is we're detoxing, we're pulling back all of those layers of everything that we've been told and taught that we're not capable or not good enough or we're too much. It's where we've been programmed into that really rigid and fixed, compartmentalized energetic of the matrix. Because as long as we agree that we're not enough, we're not capable, we don't have what we need, it's really easy for us to stay within a very limited experience. It's very easy for us to be led and directed into a path and a journey that conforms and suits this program instead of exactly who we are. And most of us have had this experience in spades. We've had lovers, family members, teachers, bosses, a plethora of people in our lives that have told us, we're too much, you're too sensitive, you're too beautiful, you're too gifted. And they try to pull you into and keep you in this little box of experience. Because if you try to expand out of that box, if you try to be exactly who you came here to be, share your wisdom, share your gifts, share your truth, oftentimes what you find is you shake and rattle the boat of conformity. You begin to remind people that parts of their experience are not in alignment and in resonance with their truth. So they try to pull you back in and reel you back in. So they're not uncomfortable. So they don't have to grow and expand. So they can stay in their little box of creation potential. And every person keeps doing this to someone else. And then eventually all of us have an immense amount of programming and agreements and binding. And it makes it more and more difficult for anyone to begin to even step out of that comfort zone, that agreed upon structure. And so the first step of the Trinity Alchemy process is going in and releasing, detoxing all of those components. Everywhere you've picked up the message that you're too much, and you pull yourself back. Who am I to shine so bright and make other people uncomfortable? Who am I to have so much that it triggers other people? And so unconsciously, we begin to self-sabotage. We say we desire something and we want something. And the more we try to acclimate to it, the more all of these messages that we have been presented with our entire life begin to surface and rise. And before we know it, we're subconsciously putting on the brakes, right? So maybe you've been working on being abundant, creating more abundance in your life. And the harder that you try, the more you do all of these abundance exercises and listen to these abundance MP3s, you might have a little stream here or there that come in of abundance. You can never really achieve the exact degree of your goal that you're aiming for, because as all of these programs and words that other people have said to you over multiple lifetimes begin to surface, subconsciously you start hitting those blocks, and it begins to become harder and harder for you to move out of that. Might say subconsciously or even consciously, if I get more money, then I'll lose friends or family. They'll think that I'm too successful for them. I'm full of myself. I'm too big. They'll be jealous by me taking some of those vacations that I've always wanted to go in, or having a nice car or a nice house. They'll be triggered by me living my best life, because they will see that they're not living their best life, and they will subconsciously begin to take it out on me. They may not want to be around me any longer. I might make more than my spouse, which would make them feel uncomfortable, make them feel less than. I might be incredibly successful with my book or my paintings, and I'll have a lot of drama in my life. Maybe people will only want to be with me or around me because they want something. Or maybe having all of that will make me a bad person. Look at all those people who have all that money and look what they've chose to do with it. Look at the chaos and the greed that they've chose to do and create in the world. So we must detox all of those myths out of our mind, our body, our emotions, our energy. That's the first step in the Trinity Alchemy process, is detoxing all of these lies, all of these myths. Because the truth of the matter is, everything is based on intention. When we're living in joy, we can spread joy. When we're living in abundance, we can spread abundance. There's so much potential and possibility when we fully anchor in that. We truly begin to let go and release the fact that we might trigger a few people, because we could also end up triggering people into more abundance and more joy and being able to shine and live their best life as well. There might be a few people that process won't work, but that's part of their journey. So we let that go. And then we move into releasing the binding with the second phase of the Trinity Alchemy process. Any energetic binding that we've picked up through our ancestral line, through our community, our culture, anywhere we've picked up that we must conform, that we force ourselves out of alignment, out of flow with our truth. We constrict against it and play small, be what people need us to be. And this is where we begin to move into the belief that we can create what we truly want to create without limits. This is where we begin to expand our comfort zone. We begin to realize that all of our desires are meant for us, that we truly have the potential and everything we need to create them. This is where we begin to truly believe that it is all possible so that we can be it, because we must believe it to be it. That is alchemization, right? We're beginning to acclimate, feel into the energetics of who we are and what we came here to do, our purpose, our mission, because all that's directly connected to our abundance and everything else. So during the acclimation phase of Trinity Alchemy, that's when we go within with all of those MP3s and we begin to peel back the layers and reveal, illuminate exactly who we are. We can connect into it. We can begin to, piece by piece, begin to create those dynamics in our lives because we're acclimating to it. Acclimation is where we are being it a little bit at a time. We're becoming exactly who we know we are. Instead of fighting it, instead of resisting it, instead of forcing ourselves into playing another role. So instead of role playing, acclimating is where we start soul playing. We start enjoying being exactly who we are, knowing and trusting that all of these insights that we have that are being revealed to us, they're being revealed because it's exactly who we are, and it's exactly what we were meant to create. It's not a dream. How many times do you have a dream over and over again? A waking dream. Of you writing a book, becoming a New York Times bestseller, speaking on stage to millions of people, creating a beautiful coffee shop on the coast, teaching yoga in Bali, whatever. How many times have you had that thought or that dream and you push it away? Nope, not me. It's unrealistic. It's not possible. I'm dreaming too big. I'm thinking too big. Who am I to believe that's possible and be that person? Who are you not to fully anchor into exactly who you are? That's your soul trying to awaken you into what you were created to do and be. And so through the acclimation process, what we do is we release anything, anywhere that constricts or forces us out of alignment, so we can begin to flow into our truth. We can believe it and we can be it. Then we move into the integration phase, the last phase of Trinity Alchemy. The last phase is where we begin to truly flow without dissonance, without bypassing, because now we believe it, we are it, so we create it. Nothing pops up, no resistance at all. So this is where we reach the point where we've heard so many successful people talk about in their story. J.K. Rowling's a perfect example that pops into mind. She explains often how when she was creating the Harry Potter series, she was rejected by almost a dozen different publishers. She kept those rejection letters on her fridge. She was very poor. She was a single mom. She would often go to coffee shops to write because it's the only place she could get warm. And instead of giving up with almost a dozen rejection letters and having to go to a coffee shop to write just to stay warm, she believed that she was meant to be a writer so much. Nothing deterred her, to the point most people would crumble up those letters, cry themselves to sleep, and say, I can't do it. She hung them on her fridge as motivation. Watch me. This is who I'm meant to be. Watch me succeed. And she became the first female writer to become a billionaire because she integrated so completely her purpose and believed in it so much that there was no chance of failure. There was no other option. That's alchemy. And if you listen to the most successful people in the world speak, they will tell you story after story that is exactly the same. They knew their entire lives who they were supposed to be. And they believed it so fully and with such conviction that they did not give up. So even if you forgot who you are, you've been inundated with so much programming, you forgot who you were at the older and older you got. You disconnected more and more from your inner truth. This process will help you peel back the layers during the detox phase. We'll peel back your amnesia of your soul's truth so you can get back on track again and you can have that tenacity. So even if you face a few obstacles and challenges, you refine, you dive deeper and deeper into your process, and you find your soul monad, your soul tribe that you resonate with, that believes in your purpose and your mission, and they help you succeed. And that's the Trinity Alchemy process. It helps you peel back and illuminate all of the layers of your truth to become a success story that other people will share over and over again, just like they do with J.K. Rowling. It will become an inspiration point for millions of people. So, with this beautiful wave that's coming in at the end of December, they can help us rocket straight up into our dreams, because we don't have any density. We don't have anything weighing us down and weighing us away from our true potential. So when this wave comes, just think of it as rocket fuel. Propel us instantaneously into everything we desire, because we have done the Trinity Alchemy process. We've detoxed, we've released, we've acclimated, we've integrated. We're ready. So it becomes rocket fuel. We just take off. So I hope that you are ready to say yes and share your amazing gifts that you may not even be aware of yet, and maybe you are, with the world. Become one of the beautiful awakened souls this year that will help everyone else that's just beginning to wake up. Help them through the release, acclimate, integrate process, and make their journey a little smoother, a little easier, so they don't get stuck or distracted in the release phase. They can begin to flow, they can begin to follow their flow and their truth into compounded momentum. And that's the beauty of it. We take one step and it builds the next step. We take the next step and it builds the next one. And we keep expanding and expanding and growing until we've literally achieved every single aspect of our lives that we desire. We've written that book. We've painted that painting. We have the abundance to spend quality time with those we love. Visit the places that inspire us and help us achieve the next goal on our list. Our minds are relaxed because there's no constriction. We can be exactly who we came here to be. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to force it. We don't have to try. It just is so natural. We wake up every morning energized because nothing is weighing us down. Our health begins to improve because everything's flowing effortlessly and we're happy. Happiness and joy is the best healing mechanism there is. So imagine what your life force energy will be when you're in joy all the time. You'll meet more and more people who resonate at a soul level with you. You won't even need to worry about anyone else. You'll have such strong boundaries and be in your truth that it won't even matter anymore. You have better things to do with your time and your energy than to worry about anyone that's out of alignment and wants to cause drama or chaos. You let them have their own journey. So I hope that you are willing and feel worthy of riding this beautiful wave at the end of the year. And I would be honored if you took the journey with me, if it resonates. Either way, I wish you so much love, so much joy, and so much abundance in your journey this last quarter and into the next few years, because we will continue the integration process over the next few years. So we have plenty of time to get clearer and clearer and create more and more. So much love, many blessings, and enjoy.